Okay, today's tricep and forearm day. Those are odds and ends for me, so it's not going to take very long, but I'm going to put forth the normal furious effort that I normally do. Typically, always start triceps with the same exercise, but sometimes I change it up. Today, I'm just going to do the same thing I always do. Just to get the blood going. Do the Jay Cutler workout, pre-workout. Maybe one more. That is why I do that. I want to recover. I'm going to get the bar set up for another exercise. This is the first actual working set that I'll do, but that's kind of going to be a warm up too, I think. We'll see. Just got to feel it out. I just rolled out of bed like 10 minutes ago, so I'm not really in the chatty mood yet, but I'll get there. For better or worse. You may notice that when I do that, I sort of rock back a little bit. I got that from Jeff Cavalier. You retain tension on the muscle when you do that. So when you're going like this straight down, it gets easier when you get to like right about here, and it becomes a little less stressful. But if you rock back, and that has to do with the angle of it. If you're going, your arms are parallel with the rope, then it's going to be a little easier to push it down, and gravity plays into that somehow too. But if you rock back, you keep that angle, you keep it at an angle so that retains pressure on your tricep. I don't know the math all that well. I just know it works. It works really well. Okay. So next thing will be tricep extensions with the easy curl. I may incorporate a little bit of push up into this too at the very end. So I go like this and then go if I have room. This is sort of inner skull crushers. Ooh. Ooh. Oof. Oh, God. can increase the weight a little bit. That was a good first set. I'm not going to do the push-ups or the benches this time because I'm doing chest tomorrow, so I don't want to overwork it. We can take that up about 20 pounds. And I probably should move this bench some away here. Angle this a little bit like this. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. This thing is awesome because this thing I can like stretch everything out before my next set. If you have a bar, if you have some place you can hang, it's great for your back too. All right. I got my first viewer. All right. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to wake up, but I'm getting there. Oh. I appreciate the view. When you do this, you want to try to go all the way as back as you can versus actually crushing your skull with it like this. Just get a little bit better stretch on the muscle that way. And the whole point is to just keep everything engaged as much as you can. That was a good one. So I'll do 2 more sets of that, and then I'll figure something else out. I think I'll do reverse grip today. Again, so I got chest tomorrow, theoretically, so I don't want to stress my triceps too much. But maybe I'll put it off a day. I don't know. We'll see. Normally, I'm a little bloated after the holidays, but yeah, they're there. The 8-pack, 10-pack, whatever you want to call it, whatever these things are here, that's part of it. I try to keep my core strong because it just keeps everyday life easier. You're working around the house or doing something. It's nice to have a strong core. It just makes everything easier. It reduces injury. It just helps with everything. So your stomach, your lower back, there's little muscles in there. Just doing everything that you can, keep your core strong. And that's just doing other exercises too, like power lifts and things too, will help with your core. Honestly, I don't even do too much abs. I just get them worked out through other exercises. And then I'll take maybe a period of, professional bodybuilders that know what they're doing, they'll take a period of maybe a month or 2 before they compete to do abs. And they won't do it before then because the trick is to get that V cut. And the less you work them, the smaller they're going to be. But the harder you work them, the more ripped they're going to be, if that makes sense. So you don't train them for a long time, then before contest, you overtrain them to really get them to pop. And that's the strategy that people like Michael Hearn is in order to pop those muscles out. I didn't know about that for the longest time. So you can still keep your core strong without doing like sit-ups and crunches is what I'm saying. And then you could really make them pop when you need them. Sorry, enough babble. Oof. Oof. Shoot. Okay, one more set. Move on to the other thing. I'm tempted to take the weight down a little bit because, like I said, I'm doing chest tomorrow. And I'm going to get plenty of tricep engagement just from doing presses and stuff. So, but I think what I'll do is one more set, same weight, do some reverses, and then maybe finish off with some more of those things, and then call it a day for triceps. And then do forearms. And forearms is going to be real simple. So, because I don't really work forearms out that hard. Again, that's another body part that you kind of get with doing other things. So, I don't really do too much for forearms. I'll get it set up. And the movements are super subtle too, so you're not even really going to see. It's going to seem kind of weird, I think, to watch. But this last set, I'm going to go in a little bit further. Like the first set, just get like different angles on the triceps. I'm going to go right into the ropes first to kind of get a finisher set on this. Let me see. Yeah, that should be good. So that's sort of a drop set, even though it's a different exercise. Okay. And now move on to the next thing, which is reverse. Usually I'll do like 8 to 10 sets. So This is 3 working sets. I'll be like, then I count that last one. That rope is part of that 3rd set, so like, I think I need 3 sets of reverse, and then I'll just finish off with the rope. Move on to forearms. Okay. Next week, I'm probably going to hit this a little earlier in the week because, like I said, tomorrow's supposed to be chest, so maybe hit it Thursday instead. Normally, I hit triceps as part of shoulders. Maybe this will be okay. Ooh. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right into the next set. From here. Save a little time. Nice. It's okay. It's cheap. A little bit on the last few reps, as long as you keep the engagement in the muscle that you're working. So I try to start off by right form, and then as I get towards the end, it's okay to cheat a little bit. Just try not to. Or partial rep if you have to. Rest. Also, as I've said before, if you feel like you can do more or less, actually keep going, more or less reps with another arm. They say you do 15 on one arm, but you feel like you can do 17 on the other arm. That's totally fine. But you're not going to like totally mess up the symmetry that way. Unless you just exercise one arm and not the other arm, their symmetry should be fine. Remember, the point is to tax the muscle. So, all right, 2 more sets for triceps. I'm going to take it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do one totally different exercise to finish this off. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Excuse me. All right. The last set is going to be overhead presses. So, woo! I think actually, in overhead presses, I do a little less. So. 2 4s. Well, maybe a little bit more. Wait a minute, keep going. So that's triceps. Now forearms. After I shake it out and stretch it out a little bit. First thing is, I don't use a lot of weight on forearms, but the first exercise I usually do is sort of like this thing here where you're pushing. You're getting this here. So you're sort of like twisting your wrist like that, and you're focusing on that part of the forearm. And then still getting a burn, even if it doesn't seem like I'm doing much. Ooh. Do one more set of that. That's nice, man. That feels nice. I do forearm just about every week. I probably don't have to, but I do. Like, I guess I feel like mine could be a little bit bigger. I don't know. Maybe they're fine. Whew. Okay. Next thing is, let's see. I guess 3. I typically stick at 30 pounds for these. I go by the day, like everything else. The next thing is tilting your hand position is more like straight up and down with this one, and you're tilting down. So it's different angle, and it's working more of this bottom part of the forearm here. Okay, next. Next. Try to keep the form strict. Yikes. Ooh. Okay. So now the reverse of that, and the next one's going to be like this. So this gets this part of the forearm here. About the same weight. Man, that feels so good. All right. So it's more like this. I can see my chest shaking there. I could probably do more weight on this, but I'm more focused on the form and really trying to get a squeeze out of this muscle. It seems like it's doing all right. You know, I've been working out for a while, and within the last 4 years, actually, I would say like the last 2.5 years, I've worked out harder than ever, probably in the best shape of my life. And I've like mined from a lot of people that know what they're talking about, like Jeff Cavalier and Mike O'Hearn and Sam Sulik, you know, and to a certain extent, in terms of it's just tenacity. And, you know, watching The Rock and watching Natty Neidhart and Stephanie Sanzo, and there's just a whole bunch of people out there that are really inspirational. There's even a guy that he works out in his backyard, and it's like at this point of the year, it's all covered in snow and ice and everything. All his weights are all rusted and stuff. He's an inspiration, just because it's real gritty. I guess it's more like that old school Rocky IV training that it's just really motivating. So I try to take inspiration from everybody I can, but there's some people out there that really know what they're talking about, and I didn't really know of them until like within the last few years. So I've elevated my training tremendously since then. Actually thinking about competing for the first time. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, now the next thing is there's only 1, 2, 3. So there's only 2 more things left. So this is one. This is twisting. And then the last thing is twisting the other direction, and that's it. I don't do any performance enhancing drugs at all. I just drink protein shakes and eat a lot of protein, and that's it. And take supplements, but that's it. Like vitamin C and D and that stuff. But I don't really take too much. I tried peptides last year. I had a bad effect from them. So I've done creatine. I had a similar effect. Creatine, whatever people pronounce that shit. Didn't have a great experience with that. Okay. Once this is done, I'll show you what I got in terms of muscle, and just to kind of show you where I am, but be a little bit kind because it has been the holidays and I have eaten a lot more sugar than I normally eat, and I bloat very easily, but you can still get the idea. I'm not like super swole, but I got excellent definition, and I'm working on making it even more excellent. Well, development, we'll say that. The definition will come once I get some of this bloat off. Bodybuilders, when they're getting ready for a contest, they basically kill themselves. They limit their carbs to the point where they're almost dead, and their electrolytes and stuff. Like they're very, very close to death when they're competing. They look very healthy, but they're very close to death. So just know that it's not healthy to be like that all the time. Right? Okay, so that's that. So the last thing is twist the reverse way. Let's see if this bothers my elbow. So you go just like that. And then I did this thing here earlier. The reverse of that, I did yesterday, so I'm not going to hit that. But I'll show you a good exercise I learned for that. Yeah, no pain in the elbow, thank God. On the left side. I'll tell you what, stem cells are something else, man. Night and day. I had two stem cell procedures. The last one was killer, man. The last one changed a lot. It helped me a lot. If you have the money, I highly recommend it. I had the money, and I took advantage of it. The economy's been kind of tough since then. Okay. Ooh. All right, now this last set, and then I'm going to show you guys something that you can do for your this part of your forearm, top part. All right. So for that part of your forearm, good exercise to do is get a bar, just a bar, and a short bar. This isn't really a bar. This is more of like a hollowed out attachment, but for the purposes of what I'm going to show you, it'll work. So you do like kind of like this twisty motion where you're moving your wrists alternately up and down like this, and you get the bar going in sort of like a circular motion on each end, and then you go 1, and then you do this for 1 second, go 1, 2, make sure the hand grips right, and then you do this for 2 seconds, and then you go 1, 2, 3, and then you do this for 3 seconds, and you keep going like that until you get to however far you can go. And I can usually get to about 8. And then you grab some weights, doesn't matter what the weights are, and you kind of just walk around for, I don't remember how long this guy said to do it. I think it was like for 30 seconds or whatever, you just kind of walk around. And then you go right into the next set of what I just did. And you just keep doing that, probably do that like 3 rounds of that, and that should be good. So I hope that helps. A little longer workout than I planned today, but I hope it helps you guys, and see you tomorrow.